calling on that inheritance money. What happened? Is your 50-year-old brain having trouble with the math? How about I lend you a calculator? Or maybe an abacus? That might be more to your liking.
Oh, I see. This must be Megan the homewrecker, right? The one who slept with my husband, had a love child with him, and now is after his inheritance money. That's who you are, right?
Oh my! That's certainly a provocative statement, but I'll let it go for now. It's clear that you have some issues to work out for yourself. Have you thought about therapy? I hear that it can work wonders.
Hey, I'm just telling the truth of the situation. Do with it what you will.
Oh, the truth? I see. Well, the truth of the situation is that my son is entitled to his portion of that inheritance money.
You mean that child who suddenly appeared with you at Kevin's funeral? I was wondering where he came from.
I need to get the paperwork in order for him to inherit what's rightfully his, you know? And you're supposed to help me. But then you just up and disappeared in the middle of everything.
I don't know anything about any of that shameful business between you, Kevin, and that child. That was between you and Kevin and has nothing to do with me. But your outrageously inconsiderate behavior was just too much for me to take, and I couldn't stop myself from throwing that drink at you. So sorry, not sorry. Emotions run high at funerals, you know?
Yeah. Well, regardless of emotions, that was totally uncalled for, and I would have been completely within my rights to call the cops, you know. But it was the funeral of our dear departed Kevin, and I didn't want to make any more of a scene than it already was. So I let that go too. See how nice I am.
Yeah. So, anyway, what about those DNA results? Are you still waiting for them? You know those results will be the key to you and your son getting any inheritance money, right?
Hey, it's like I told you over and over already. That boy is Kevin's. One look at his face and anyone can see that.
I have no idea about that, and like I said, it's not my concern. I mean, who can reasonably and reliably say that a 3-year-old kid and a fat, balding, middle-aged guy look alike anyway?
Oh, come on. There are definitely similarities in their faces. It's undeniable. Plain as day.
Yes, well, be that as it may, inheritances aren't based on facial similarities. They're based on legal proceedings. Both my attorneys and I are waiting on those test results. So please get them to us as soon as you can if you really want that money.
I don't want to put that kind of burden on the child, though. Making him go through tests like some kind of lab rat or something. I just feel sorry for him.
All the test is a cotton swab in his mouth for a few seconds. I think he'll survive.
I can't bear to think of how he might be scarred emotionally from the trauma of the testing. It makes me want to cry just thinking about it.
I promise you that the cotton swab won't emotionally scar him. It'll be done before he even knows it started.
Good grief. Why can't you just take my word for it? Do we really need all this ridiculous testing?
Hey, the fact that you're trying to avoid getting the test done really doesn't leave a good impression. You know that, right?
Oh, stop with the accusations, please. There's not one iota of evidence showing that my boy Kyle isn't Kevin's child. All the evidence shows that he is.
Good. Then just get that test done and get the results to my lawyer as soon as possible. He's waiting on you, and so am I.
Okay, I'll get it done. Just have a little patience. Good grief.
Thank you for your cooperation. My name is Andrea. My dear husband, Kevin, was killed in a car accident at the young age of 55. He was a very successful entrepreneur, and the company that he started is still a leader in its industry. Kevin and I were never blessed with any children, but the two of us spent a very happy 20 years together. A funny thing happened at Kevin's funeral. A strange woman appeared at the church and introduced herself as Megan. She claimed to be 35 years old, but she looked more like 45. She had a young boy with her, and she made quite a scene. She demanded her son's share of inheritance money from Kevin, and she was so loud and shameless about it that everyone there was completely dumbfounded. I and the rest of the family assumed that she must be lying about the child's parentage. So we simply told her that she needed to provide us with DNA test results to verify her claims. Little did we know what those test results would end up telling us, though.
So, how about those test results? Did you see them?
Yes, I did. My lawyer let me know about them, and I've already consulted with him about them.
And? Don't you have something that you need to say to me?
And the results say that Kyle is indeed Kevin's son, apparently. So,
See? What did I tell you? I told you.
but then why were you trying so hard to avoid getting the test done?
What can I say? I wanted to make you work for it. I wanted to see how much you really wanted them.
Good grief. You're really a vindictive one, aren't you? Were you abused as a child? I'm seriously asking.
Hey, you were much, much too haughty with me at the funeral. You clearly thought you had the upper hand and you were talking down to me and enjoying it. But the joke is on you this time and I win. Ha! I win and you lose.
Hey, I wasn't enjoying any of that. You have that all wrong. Quite the contrary, actually.
Well, I'm definitely enjoying this victory right now. So you have to excuse me while I gloat.
So I guess Kevin actually did father a child after all. Heaven knows he and I tried hard to do it, but we never were able to.
Hey, it's not your fault. You and I are just different varieties of woman. There's nothing either you or I can do about that. I mean, I knew that right away when I first laid eyes on you at the funeral. I knew you weren't the kind of woman who could satisfy his needs.
Wow, okay. I see what you're trying to do here.
Anyway, now it's time for us to take care of all the official business and formalities.
You've gotten even more confident than you were before, I see.
Well, I am the mother of the heir, and it's now scientifically confirmed. So, yes, I am more confident now.
What was that you said? The heir? Was that the word that you just used?
Yes, of course. Kyle is set to inherit Kevin's house, company, and whatever else he's legally entitled to, you know.
I see. Let me ask you something first, Megan. Did Kevin tell you all that while you were in bed together or something?
No, he didn't, but I know that that's the case because I've done my homework.
Listen, I need to go talk to my lawyer about a few things and make sure that we're all on the same page with this stuff. I'll be in touch again after I do that, okay?
Ugh. Fine. But just be quick about it. I've waited long enough now. What on earth is taking so long? All you need to do is wire the money to me. It's been 6 months now.
Well, there's a bit of a situation that's causing a problem with that, Megan.
What are you talking about? This better not be some stalling or negotiating tactic because I won't stand for it.
It's a matter of succession.
Succession? What's that supposed to mean?
Well, it means that there are questions regarding Kyle's place in Kevin's line of succession.
What are you even talking about? This is a stalling tactic and it's not going to work.
No, really. I was surprised about the whole thing myself, to tell you the truth.
You need to explain to me right now what's been going on. This is not supposed to be this complicated.
Okay, listen. When Kevin passed away, his obituary was published in the newspapers, of course. Shortly after that, we were flooded with calls from all over the country from people claiming to be his illegitimate children or the mothers of his illegitimate children.
Seriously? You got calls from all over the country? From other women and children?
That's right. I don't know how many different states were represented, but it was a lot. Quite shocking, actually. I never would have expected 30 or so of those people to suddenly appear, but that's exactly what happened, and that's why this is all taking so long. We have to check out every one, just like we did with you.
There are 30 others with claims like mine?
Yep. There are about 30 altogether.
I don't believe it. You're lying.
Surprisingly enough, there were even 3 siblings who all claimed to be Kevin's heirs too, as well as more than 1 claimant who are in their 20s and 30s.
Why, that lying schemer. How long had he been cheating on you anyway?
I honestly don't know. I used to get upset about it when I was much younger, but then I decided that I could put up with it as long as he always came home to me. But I never in a million years thought that he was this, prolific.
But I was the first one to come forward, right? I mean, first come, first served, right?
What's that? Oh, yes. Yes, you were the only one who showed up at his funeral demanding money, if that's what you mean.
Hey! Don't talk about me like I'm some extortionist or something.
Oh, you're much worse than an extortionist, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, Kyle and I should be entitled to more money than the rest of these people, right?
No, that theory doesn't really apply, I'm afraid. It's an equal distribution among all the qualified claimants.
Why? And how much will that inheritance end up amounting to if it's divided up between 30 people?
Well, Kevin's personal assets amounted to approximately $600,000. Half of that is mine, and the rest is what will be divided up between you and the other claimants. That comes to about $10,000 for each of you.
Excuse me? Are you telling me that we're only getting $10,000 each in inheritance from Kevin, the multi-millionaire?
Yes, well, that's what happens when it gets divvied up between all those love children. You can do the math yourself if you like. I'll happily lend you a calculator. Or maybe an abacus.
This is unbelievable. Just unreal.
Yes, such a shame.
Then I guess I'll just have to take that $10,000. But I am not satisfied with this. Not at all.
My lawyer is telling me that the process is going to continue to be slow and tedious because of all the claimants.
But I'm still the first in line.
Yeah. Unfortunately for you, that's not how all this works.
Ugh, whatever. Just hurry it up, please. Will you please get your act together already? It's been more than 5 years now. I almost can't remember where we left off with all this.
Oh, so sorry. The process has been quite lengthy, I know. All of the claimants are receiving their wire transfers in sequential order, and they're almost all finished at this point.
But I was first in line! Why haven't I received mine yet?
As I said, the transfers are being done in sequential order.
All of the claimants have been DNA tested like Kyle was, right?
No, they haven't.
What? Why? That's completely unfair to only force Kyle to do it.
Because it wasn't necessary for the other claimants as it was for you and Kyle.
What in the world does that mean? Again, I ask, why?
Because Kevin personally acknowledged all the others.
Huh? But now that you mention it, I never did receive acknowledgement from Kevin.
Maybe Kevin was too burned out on acknowledging so many of his illegitimate children that he just forgot about you and Kyle. You were the last in line, and you ended up not making the cut.
That's horrible! Kyle is his actual son, so he has to be entitled to some of that money.
Actually, if he hasn't been acknowledged by Kevin, he has no rights to inherit anything, period. That's just the way it is.
That can't be right!
No, it's correct. Go ahead and research it for yourself.
Why are Kyle and I the only ones getting shut out of this when everyone else is getting their fair share?
Well, there is a way to force them to acknowledge Kyle as an heir, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I definitely want to do that. I'm going to go talk to my lawyer about that right now.
If I remember correctly, the statute of limitations on that kind of legal motion is 5 years, though.
Huh?
It's been 5 years since Kevin passed away now. Time certainly does fly.
You knew about all this all along.
Did I?
Now stop jerking me around. As far as I'm concerned, you owe me $10,000.
And why is that?
You got $300,000 from Kevin. You're loaded.
So what? Kyle isn't my child. He's Kevin's child, and Kevin never told me about him or left any instructions that I was supposed to do anything for him.
$10,000 is nothing to you. It's a drop in the ocean, so pay me my money.
Wow. Is that really how you talk to people when you need their help?
Okay, I'm sorry for being so upset. How's that? Now send me my money.
Yeah, that's still really not the way you're supposed to ask for help.
Oh, come on. Why are you only doing this to me out of all the claimants?
Have you already forgotten what you did at Kevin's funeral?
What? What did I do? I was so agitated and upset that whole affair is a blur.
You were sobbing hysterically in front of Kevin's casket and yelling at him, telling him not to leave you and Kyle. It was a complete scene.
Well, I was really sad. What can I say?
Yeah, really sad to see your gravy train rolling down the tracks away from you.
Hey, I won't lie. That had a little to do with it.
I was desperately trying to keep it together and give Kevin a proper and dignified funeral. But you had to show up and make a complete scene about being his side piece and his baby mama, to the point where some of the people there were even making jokes about you being Kevin's actual wife. Do you have any idea how embarrassing that was for me?
So that's why you're doing this to me? Because you've been seething about that all this time?
Oh no, that's not the only thing you did.
Then what else?
Why did you have to even come to the burial ceremony?
Because I wanted his son to be able to say a final goodbye to him.
Oh, come on. I clearly heard Kyle pointing at the casket and asking who that man in the box is.
Yeah, well, Kevin didn't spend much time with us, you know. I always assumed that it was because he was afraid of his battle axe of a wife.
You know, Megan, quite a few of Kevin's other women have gotten in touch with me and offered their condolences as well as apologizing for being part of his infidelity. And they've had stories about how they need that money for their children's college funds or for medical bills or other important things like that.
Yes! That's just like me! I'm just like them!
I loved Kevin, but he was a no-good philanderer, and there are literally dozens of children, and some young adults, running around now because of his cheating. So I feel that, if I can help any of them with their goals in life, it's my duty to do the right thing by them.
Then why aren't you helping me? I'm in exactly the same boat that they all are in.
Why? Because you've been rude, demanding, and selfish towards me and everyone else around you since the moment we first met. Oh, and you're completely ungrateful, too.
I apologize. I apologized already. Just send me my money already.
I'm sorry, but the funds have all been used up. There is nothing left for you and your son.
Liar! You lie! You have plenty of money, you stingy old cow!
You are a loudmouthed shrew to the very end, Megan. I actually feel sorry for you. I really do.
This isn't fair! Not fair at all! No!
You know, I looked at Kevin's diary.
You did? What did he write about me in there? He said that he wanted me and Kyle to get paid, right?
I actually didn't see much mention of you in there at all.
What? Why, that old dirtbag!
But he did mention Kyle quite a bit. He clearly loved Kyle a lot.
Wow. Really?
Yes. He wrote that Kyle would most likely be the last child that he fathered, so he felt a special love for Kyle because of that. As for you, Kevin said that you're a gold digger and a manipulator and that he was worried about how you would raise Kyle.
That slimeball! Where does he get off writing anything like that about me?
I have a modest proposal for you, Megan. Let me adopt Kyle and raise him as my own.
He's all yours!
Wow. That was easy.
I thought he was going to make me rich, but he hasn't, so you can have him.
Really? You'll really just give him up without a fight?
Like I said, he's all yours.
Okay, then. It's the deal.
Hang on a second, though. If you adopt Kyle, that will make him an heir, right?
I don't know.
What? Why wouldn't he be?
I don't know if just adopting him would make him the successor to all of what Kevin built. For example, the person running Kevin's company now is someone who was promoted from within and worked his way up. He's not related to Kevin by blood in any way.
Oh, is that so? Then there's no point in getting my hopes up about that, I suppose.
So all we have to do is get our lawyers to draw up the adoption paperwork, and then we can make this happen.
Aren't you forgetting something?
What's that?
Did you think that you were getting Kyle for free?
Wait a minute. I strongly advise you to think very carefully before your next words, Megan. Our close family friend is a police officer, and I won't hesitate to call him if you say what I think you're going to say.
What are you talking about? Why would you do that?
I've already had a background check done on you, you know.
Why? Why are you sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong?
I have to say, I was shocked when I read the report on you. You can't just do things like that and expect to get away with them.
Oh no. Come on, please don't dredge up that stuff now. Please.
I don't know, Megan. That stuff was really, really bad.
Okay, I give up. I'll do this however you tell me to. I just can't handle that old stuff being brought out for everyone to see, okay? Please.
Fine. Just talk to your lawyer then. I'll talk to mine too, and we'll get this done without any more drama.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, is there anything else you want to say to me?
I'm sincerely sorry for the way I've acted and the trouble that I've caused you. It will never happen again.
That's right. Well done.
So, do you think that you could see your way to just giving me a little cash? Like, maybe just $1,000.
You really are a piece of work, you know that?
Oh, never mind. I was just checking. You can't blame a girl for asking, right?
Yeah, right. So, do you still want to try me?
No, it's fine. Never mind. Forget I ever mentioned it.
It's just like I told you. You can't get away with that stuff, understand?
Yes, I understand. Please forgive me and just forget that I even mentioned it.
It took some time, but eventually the adoption paperwork and proceedings were completed and Kyle officially became my son. He really likes my cooking and never fails to eat at least 2 helpings of whatever I serve him. It really makes my heart sing to watch him eat. He tells me that he likes me more than his old mom. He might just be saying that to make me feel good, but I don't care. He's such a sweet boy. As for Megan, I haven't seen or heard from her even once since the adoption, and I have no idea what's become of her. I made it clear to her that she was to stay away from Kyle and me, or I would not hesitate to reveal the dirty secrets that I found in her background report. As for the nature of those secrets, I will leave the details for another day. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button and follow our channel. See you next time!